Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Have you wondered why the president of the Russian Federation and the leader, I don't know, is it the president Xi Jinping of China, of the People's Republic of China, did not show up at the United Nations summit or meeting? Did you wonder why they didn't show up at the G20, the same two guys? Isn't that something that maybe should be concerning? Or is just ignore it, nothing happens, more time for us? Well, as you know, the Russian Federation has the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world, nuclear weapons. As you know, China has the second biggest economy on this planet, and it has almost 1.5 billion people, and it has a nuclear arsenal as well. The fact that these two leaders, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, did not show up at G20 and at the United Nations should be very concerning. Now, obviously, they sent their representatives to both G20 and at the United Nations, but still, isn't that a way to delegitimize the United Nations and the G20, considering them as a Western-made organizations, where seems to maybe the two leaders that they are not inclusive enough and they are not there to really protect the global interest, but only certain kind of interests. I don't know. To me, that would be very concerning if China and Russia would not show up at two meetings that, how should I put it, are the top-notch meetings. What other meetings, global meetings, are more important than G20 and the United Nations? G7? G7 is an exclusive, summit. So is G20, but G20 gets 7 from 20. It's a little bit different. NATO is like this. European Union is like this. So what's going on here? Well, I suspect that the Russians and the Chinese are trying to, which is something I said many times before, to create their own club, own organization outside of the Western United States and its vassal states, organizations created by them. And I think that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, I think the BRICS, again, this will be the founding organizations of the new club. And so far, it seems like there's a lot of countries knocking at the BRICS door. Now it's going to be another meeting in China next week. And it's something about Asia Road, something blah, blah, blah. It's about 90 countries showing up over there. 90 countries is more than NATO, European Union together, which is kind of the same. So imagine, and again, if you take the Russia-Africa summit, it incorporated more countries than NATO and European Union, G7, G20, whatever you want to put together. Well, I think that these guys, which is the Russians and the Chinese, are just trying to delegitimize the Western institutions. And they will found, as I thought, parallel institutions, parallel insurance companies for maritime commerce. They will create their own banking system. They will get rid of the two weasels, which is International Monetary Fund and World Bank, which are owned more or less by the Al Capone. So I think they want to break away from these guys because I think they had enough with SWIFT, which shows if we don't like it, we're going to kick you out. Therefore, this guy says, why can't we create our own SWIFT? Well, you can. You just have to work on it. Now, I have this little article here coming from, I don't even know, New York Post. Doesn't really matter because it just I have all kind of commercials. I don't understand this. They show up commercial and you click, no, I don't want this fucking commercial. No, I don't want that fucking commercial. And they keep showing. Right now, look what I got here. Now I have to figure out where in the hell I am supposed to. What am I supposed to do? Because it's Washington Post. Like, I want to read it. I don't want to read it. I don't give a shit. It's garbage. I just use it so you can see it. That's all. New York Post, not Washington. New York Post. Biden to face. You see all these commercials here? They're going to show up in the middle. They're going to invade the whole thing. And I don't want to deal with these guys. These guys are liars. I don't want to read them. I just use them so I can make a point. That's all. Biden to face spotlight in UN General Assembly while Xi and Putin are no-shows. So in this guy's little dove or how do I call it, bird brain, they're happy about it. Well, more time for us. Yes, but in the long run, which I think is going to be short run, you're going to be fucked. All right, so you can do a, how do you call that, a collective jerk-off session with your 40 countries that you control, but then after that, you got the 155 saying, fuck you. What are you going to do then? Well, we're going to isolate them. The 40 of us is going to isolate the 155. Because that's how logic works in our ancient Greek ideology and Roman civilization. Great job. I don't fucking know where these guys got that. I don't know. I mean, I can't guess. I mean, it's not hard to look in the Old Testament and find this kind of mentality of collective punishment and this kind of things. But I don't think it's only that. It's just, whatever works our way is logical. Whatever doesn't work our way is illogical and should be, So here it is, my friends. Just think about it. Just think about why these guys did not show up. They didn't show up in India. They didn't show up in New York. Well, you can find all kind of little justifications. Oh, the international court, the criminal court. Oh, Xi Jinping doesn't like the Indians or something like that. Believe me, this is garbage justification. I think it's a much bigger picture. And the picture that I think it is the one that I was talking about in this video. That's my assessment. We'll see, and I think I will be right because you're going to see me in about 5 to 6 months when that club will really have a name and it's going to have a location, and they will set a schedule and they will send, okay, we're going to meet this every year over there 3 times a year, 1 time, and you're going to structure it. And I'm going to come here and say, I told you so. So your little, how do you call that, public display of affection will last just a few months. And after that, you have to face the truth. And I think the truth is going to be a knockout truth. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.